Welcome back to the Hawkeye Garage. I am Joe. We have the 3rd gen 4Runner back in the garage. Yes, I know, we're doing some more mods, and just like the title says, we are going to be talking about some free, yes, they are open source, 3D printed roof rack mounts, direct mounts for the Rola roof rack. Stay tuned. Yes, this is the Rola roof rack that I originally had on my Jeep Grand Cherokee, then went on to the 4Runner. It was actually on the 4Runner with the Plano box on the top when it rolled, and it all survived. Only part of it is scratched up. I really don't even want to think about how that all happened and transpired, but instead of just pitching it or trying to sell it, I've cleaned it up and we're putting it back to use. Well, it's for looks, let's be honest. At this point, it's just for looks on there. On the 3rd gen, it looks awesome, I think. And with the low profile mounts, it looks even better. Let's take the camera, go up there, talk about them. I'll talk about where I got them, how I printed them, some good, some bad, and maybe how one of you all can make them even better. All right, here is the roof rack. This is the Rola roof rack that you can buy pretty much anywhere online. Got it on Amazon. I have the extension on there, so it fits really good, about halfway up the sunroof, all the way almost back to the hatch, so I can still open it with the wind deflector. Looks really good. The Plano box on here, I did actually use this box when it was on the 4th gen 4Runner. When we traveled, I put tools and recovery stuff and like dirty shoes and things up there. And it has fared very well, and it's been waterproof and it's been great. Anyway, we have these mounts. I have one there, one back there. Whew, light's terrible. I'm really close to a fluorescent light. And again, the same ones on the other side. So these are 3D printed on my 3D printer. This is out of PLA. Yep, that's not a very good substrate to be using for this application. We'll talk about that in a minute. And they are from a website called Thingiverse. I will link them down below. This is a 2-piece design that mounts with 2 bolts directly to the hardware inside this track where the factory crossbars would have mounted. I have stainless bolts there, and this is where my problem begins. Let's dig into this. The description for these had a specific size of bolt that you should use for these holes. There's 3 on this side and 3 on the other side. Now, theoretically, these are printed with a thread in there. My print quality was not great, but then again, even if you had a great print quality, it's still just printed in plastic. Not ideal. So, currently, this is so ghetto, guys, the way that I have this, but it was mainly just to see how it worked and try to come up with a better solution. And this is my work car. I basically just drive it in town, back and forth to work, you know, and then a couple places in between. Like, I'm not taking huge road trips. There's nothing in this box. There's a shovel on the other side. There's no weight in here. And I don't ever drive it above 60 miles an hour because the front end at the moment needs some work. So I have 3 out of the 6, yep, just 3 stainless steel sheet metal screws going into the plastic on the other side. It is, like, it's sturdy-ish, but so these holes here, theoretically, the head of the bolt would have recessed down into that hole, but that hole was barely bigger than like the threaded part. So I don't know what bolts the guy used, and there was no comments, and it's a pretty old file, like it's a pretty old post. So I don't know, and I need to try to adapt it. I'm learning slowly how to do design stuff in 3D space for 3D printing. And this is where you all come in if one of you is like a wizard. I would like, it fits really good around the bars. The foot is really great. I feel like we just need to like keep the top of this round, keep the bottom of it round, and then just kind of extend it out like I don't know, like a duckbill almost on both sides, and then have a hole going through, and then we can put a bolt through with a nut on the bottom. I don't know. And if you did like a pretty heavy infill, and you know, if you did ABS or some kind of weather and UV resistant plastic, not PLA, you'd have a really strong mount, probably stronger than, you know, how this roof rack is held on with 20-year-old hardware to this old Japanese SUV. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think whoever designed this did a really good job with the measurements of the bar and the foot. Again, this is not great. They're really nice low profile. They look absolutely fantastic. The roof rack itself looks really good up there as well, in my opinion. It fits well, it sits up there really nice. I don't know. I need to play with it. I would love for one of you all to play with it, and maybe like, I better not see in a couple weeks somebody putting this file on the 3rd gen Facebook page, having fixed it and made it awesome, and charging like $50 a set for them. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Make it better. Send the file to me, post it on Facebook, post it on Thingiverse so we can distribute it. I will print another set. I will mount them. I will give you credit for it. If you have like other stuff that you're selling, fine. I'll send people that way. Somebody already did the legwork for this, made it really good, put it out there for free. Let's make it even better and put it out there for the community to have a 2nd generation of it on a 3rd gen 4Runner. Anyway, there's just my take. Again, I think it looks really good. It rides really nice. I would never buy another one of these roof racks. I probably would never buy another roof rack, period. They make a lot of wind noise. I have my roof box hanging up there that we use. It has like almost no wind noise, and I can fit all of our travel stuff in it. Because in case, if you're new to the channel, I may seem like I'm an overlander and an off-roader, but probably all of you know that I'm just a huge poser and I don't ever do any off-roading or overlanding. But I like 4x4s. I like doing family exploring on vacation and locally. I live in Iowa. We don't have mountains in Iowa, if you didn't know. Anyway, just joking around. It's a really cool concept. It just shows you the ingenuity of people. It's one of the things that I do love about modern technology and the internet and things like 3D printing, where normal people can make really cool things like this, and we can spread it out and we can put it to use in the car community, in the 4x4 community, and just make neat things. And then we can stand back and look at it if you're not going to actually use it like me. That being said, in all seriousness, like if you do have a Rola rack, I don't know that I guess you could mount a rooftop tent to it, but it kind of defeats the purpose of having a roof basket. I really think within reason, a couple of people on one of those Rola roof racks in a rooftop tent on the factory like rails, if you had maybe 6 of those mounts that were made really well with ABS and some good infill and updated design like we just talked about, you could put that up there with a rooftop tent, travel cross country, and I think it would be plenty strong. And you could add, really, that roof rack, that rail that's on the roof is not like that curved, so I think you could get away. You could probably put 3 or 4 of them on a side and they would work. So anyway, if you've got comments or questions, leave those down below. I'll get back to you. Feel free to email me anytime, hawkeyeskunkworks@gmail.com. And yeah, if you want to talk about the 3D design, the printing, CAD stuff like that, how we could make it better, I'd be happy to have a conversation with someone. And again, if you figure out how to make those better, send me the file, I'll print them, I'll make a new video, and I'd be happy to give you guys the credit for it. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, turn those notifications on, give the video a thumbs up. Be sure to check in for lots of other videos. I have a GX470 that I do a lot of similar things to. I've done some of my own 3D printing stuff for that we'll talk about. Very simple stuff. And again, I'll show you what I've done. Maybe you can help me make it better. Things like that. I just did a bunch of mountain bike videos. I'm trying to get as much mountain bike content as I can now that we're into fall here, and then I won't be able to ride but I didn't want to waste time making videos while I was spending my time riding. It's kind of like a give and take that I'm not very good at. But anyway, until the next video drops, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Goodbye.